Hi everyone, welcome back to Ta Book Vibe, the channel where we share wisdom and personal growth insights from some of the best books out there. This week, I want to talk about a fascinating and powerful book called The Molecule of More. It's all about dopamine, a tiny molecule made up of just 4 atoms: carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, and nitrogen. But this little molecule shapes almost every decision we make, whether to keep going or to stop, to choose one path over another. This book helps you understand how dopamine works inside your brain, how it drives your behavior, so you can recognize whether you're truly living your life or just being a slave to your brain's script. So, let's dive in. First, we'll explore 2 things dopamine creates that have been silently manipulating your entire life. Most people think dopamine is the feel-good chemical, that it's what makes us happy. Even the scientists who first discovered it called it the molecule of happiness. But the truth is, dopamine doesn't make you feel joy, not really. Let's look at a classic experiment. Scientists worked with a monkey and 2 doors. Behind one of those doors was food, and a small light signaled which door had it. Every time the light came on, the monkey got excited, ran to the door, and got its food. At first, researchers thought, so the monkey feels happy because it's eating. But then they changed the timing. They left the light on longer, and sometimes food appeared without the light at all. And something surprising happened. The monkey only showed excitement when it expected the food, not when it was actually eating it. So, the joy didn't come from having the food, it came from anticipating the reward. That's why people often say, waiting is happiness. But from a scientific point of view, that happiness is just dopamine at work, a fake pleasure, based on expectation, not reality. So how exactly does dopamine work? A scientist named Perry discovered that our brain divides the world into 2 zones. The near space, the things you can touch or control right now, and the far space, the things that are out of reach, maybe a meter away, or a dream far into the future. When you deal with things in your near space, your brain releases what scientists call here and now molecules: serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. These bring satisfaction, calm, and connection in the present moment. But when your mind reaches for something in the far space, dopamine takes over. It makes you want something. It pushes you to chase, to plan, to move toward that thing. For example, if you suddenly crave ice cream but there's none at home, dopamine kicks in, urging you to go out, get money, and buy it. Once you finally have it, dopamine's job is done now. Serotonin and the here and now chemicals take over. If the experience is pleasant, you feel happy. If it's disappointing, you feel regret, maybe even pain from your own impulsiveness. That's why you buy something during a big sale and later think, why did I even buy this? Or why people say love feels magical at first, but marriage becomes dull. It's not love that fades, it's dopamine walking away. Dopamine finds pursuit exciting, not possession. It only cares about what's next, what's new, what's not yet yours. That's why the book says, the secret of desire always lies in what you don't have. Because once you have it, it's boring. But while you're still chasing it, the thrill feels electric. Think about when you suddenly find $20 in an old jacket, money that was already yours, yet you feel overjoyed. Why? Because it was unexpected. Same surprise that once made the monkey happy now fires in your brain. That's why you can't stop scrolling on TikTok or YouTube Shorts. Each video brings the promise of something unexpected that fits your taste perfectly. And you can't stop eating that cake, not because of hunger, but because your brain remembers that first bite, that little burst of surprise, and wants to relive it again. This is how dopamine traps you. It feeds on novelty and uncertainty, not satisfaction. So now you see, dopamine isn't about happiness, it's about wanting, and the more you feed it, the hungrier it gets. That's how addiction begins. Not because you love something, but because your brain has learned to crave the chase. Every time you check your phone for no reason, every time you scroll, just one more video, every time you tell yourself, just 5 more minutes, you're reinforcing that pattern, teaching your brain that every small action deserves a quick reward. Soon, it becomes automatic. You're not even aware of it anymore. You open your phone without thinking, you jump from one distraction to the next, you start a new task before finishing the last one. Your brain is constantly seeking stimulation because stillness feels uncomfortable now. And dopamine doesn't care if the thing you're chasing is good or bad for you, it just wants more excitement, more risk, more novelty. That's why people can get addicted to anything, not just drugs or alcohol, but also work, love, social media, shopping, even success. The more you chase the rush, the harder it is to feel satisfied with ordinary life, and that's how dopamine quietly turns you into its slave. But the good news is, you can take back control. Dopamine itself isn't evil. You need it to dream, to create, to move forward in life. It's what pushes humanity to invent, to explore, to grow. The problem is not dopamine, it's imbalance. We've been living in a world that constantly overstimulates us. Notifications, fast food, short videos, non-stop noise, all designed to hijack your attention. So, to reset, you have to retrain your brain. Start with small things. Put your phone down for a few hours. Go for a walk without music. Eat without watching anything. Let your brain feel what boredom actually is. At first, you'll feel restless, but that's a sign your mind is healing. You're learning to find peace and stillness again. Then, focus on building the other half of your brain chemistry, the here and now molecules, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. You do that by being present, by connecting with people, by expressing gratitude, by doing things slowly and mindfully. When you stop chasing every high, you start noticing the small joys that were always around you. A good meal, a quiet morning, a deep conversation. Those are the things that bring real, lasting happiness, not the temporary thrill of dopamine spikes. At the end of the day, dopamine is neither your enemy nor your friend. It's just a tool, one that you need to learn how to use. When you understand how it works, you can choose when to let it drive you forward and when to quiet it down, to simply live in the moment. If you let dopamine control you, you'll always be chasing something, never resting, never fulfilled. But if you control it, you can turn that same energy into focus, creativity, and real progress. So remember this: stop letting dopamine pull your strings. Don't be its slave. Use it wisely, consciously, and with balance. Because true happiness doesn't come from wanting more, it comes from realizing you already have enough. Thank you for watching the book Vibe, your space for self-growth.com, and reflection through powerful books and ideas. If today's episode helped you see life a little differently, share it with someone who might need it too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss what's coming next week. And if something in this video resonated with you, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear how you see your own journey with dopamine and balance. Thanks for spending your time here. Take a deep breath, slow down a little, and remember, you don't need more to feel whole, you just need to be here.